Hi, plot recap here. Today I'm going to explain a horror thriller movie called Candyman. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The movie begins in 1977 in Cabrini Green, where a kid is going to do his laundry. He is stopped by the police to ask him about a man they are looking for. The kid doesn't recognize him and is sent away. He then goes into the laundry room and notices that there is a huge hole in the wall behind him. Moments later, a man with a hook on his hand appears from inside the hole. The child screams as the police appear to hurry to him.
Troy and Grady, a gay couple, head to Troy's sister's place. Bree, Troy's sisters, lived with her boyfriend Anthony, who is a painter. The couple have recently purchased a place in the Cabrini Green locality. Troy is a real estate agent and tells his sister that she could have gotten a much better place with less amount, and also adds that the locality was haunted. Bree refuses to accept that the place was haunted, so Troy decides to tell them a story. The story follows a grad student named Helen Lyle, who was doing her thesis on urban legends of Cabrini Green. During the course of her thesis, she was really focused, but one day she just snapped. She killed a dog and the police found her in a pool of blood. She was taken to jail but escaped immediately, leaving a trail of bodies. On the day of the annual bonfire, she stole a baby from one of the Cabrini residents and ran towards the fire with the baby as a sacrifice. The people somehow saved the baby from her, but while they were fussing over the baby, Helen quietly walked into the fire, burning herself to death.
Desperate for a creative spark to turn his career around, Anthony latches onto this story and roams around Cabrini Green looking for inspiration. He researches about the community and about Helen Kyle. While he goes around the city visiting places related to the incident that he found in the internet, he is stung by a bee which instantly dies and is taken away by ants.
After that, he even sneaks into an abandoned house colony. In one of these houses, he finds various graffiti and clicks their picture. He eventually has a chance encounter with William Burke, a laundrette owner, who introduces him to the story of Candyman.
For William, Candyman was a guy named Sherman Fields, who had a hook for a hand.
He used to hand out sweets to kids as a gesture of happiness. William tells us about the time when he met the man himself. The man had been hiding behind the walls, after being suspected of handing out candy, with a razor blade, to a child. William screamed when he saw him, warning the police, who shot him dead on the spot. Later it was found that Sherman was innocent.
Inspired and filled with ideas, Anthony returns home and paints. He later shows the painting to Bree, who isn't very thrilled by it. She felt the painting had a literal approach and doesn't have much room for interpretation by the viewer.
Anthony dismissed her and then proceeded to tell her another story.
The legend goes that repeating the name Candyman 5 times in front of a mirror invokes Sherman's spirit, at which point he appears in the reflection and kills whoever spoke his name. He then proceeds to do this despite his girlfriend telling him not to. But there is no mirror, so nothing happens.
Inspired by his discoveries, Anthony develops an art exhibit around the legend of Candyman. He also showcases it at Brianna's gallery, but is dismayed when he does not get the kind of reaction he was hoping for. The critique doesn't believe the legend and says that Anthony is also among those trying to lower the rates of the buildings in the city by spreading an urban legend.
At the art gallery, a girl carries a paper which describes the painting from Anthony. At the bottom we see the process which Anthony described to invoke the Candyman. Say his name 5 times in the mirror. Later, Bree's co-workers get back home and try invoking the Candyman, believing that whatever Anthony was trying to paint was based on a lie. Just as the woman utters the last Candyman from her mouth, she is brutally killed. As the man lays her in the ground, we see that her neck is slit as she bleeds to death. The man sees a silhouette of Candyman and tries to run away. The way out of the building is closed and he is dragged next to the lady's body and killed by the Candyman. The Candyman is invisible to the naked eye but can be seen in the mirror grabbing the man by his neck and murdering him. While more and more murders start occurring in the town, Anthony digs deeper into the case of Helen, gathering all the data he could from a library from another enthusiast. On his way back from the library, he finds a candy with a razor blade inside it. When he looks up, he sees Candyman in his reflections. More deaths occur after repeating Candyman's name, including an art critic and a group of teenage girls who are brutally murdered in their school bathroom. Meanwhile, Anthony begins to undergo a physical transformation stemming from a bee sting he suffered on his hand while walking around Cabrini Green. The sting develops into a scab that begins to spread and cover his whole body. He continues to see Candyman in his own reflections. Troubled by this, he goes to see William, who tells him the story of other Candymen before Sherman Fields. It all began in 1890s with a man named Daniel Robitaille, who was a painter just like Anthony. He was commissioned to paint the daughter of a Chicago factory owner, but during the painting they fell in love, which was his greatest sin. The daughter got pregnant. The father hired some men to hunt down Daniel in the most gruesome way possible. They beat him and cut off his arm, jamming in a hook instead. They even poured honey on him and let the bees sting him as the crowd watched. Finally, they set him on fire. He died, but his story lasted forever. That is Candyman. Anthony later goes to a hospital to get checked out, where he learns that his mother lied about where he was born. Anthony soon pays a visit to his mother, who reveals he was the baby Helen Lyle saved from the fire the night she died. Though the truth is that Helen saved him from Candyman, who abducted him and planned to sacrifice him in the fire. She never told him about it because she wanted Anthony to have a chance at a normal life. The community had vowed never to repeat the legend of Candyman after that night, and his mother fears what will happen to Anthony now that someone has broken their pact. Anthony leaves resigned to his fate and wanders the row houses of Cabrini Green. Concerned about Anthony, Brianna recalls him mentioning that he first heard about Candyman from Burke, so she heads to Cabrini Green in hopes of finding him. Once there, Burke subdues Brianna and takes her to an abandoned church, where Anthony has entered a fugue state as his body continues to deteriorate. Burke reveals that not only did he witness the police beat Sherman to death, but he also saw Sherman return later as the Candyman, after which he butchered his older sister when she summoned him in the bathroom mirror of their apartment. He plans to have Anthony gunned down by the police, creating a new legend in which Candyman is an instrument of vengeance rather than a symbol of black pain and suffering. To complete Anthony's transformation into Candyman, he saws off his right hand and replaces it with a hook. Brianna manages to escape the church and is chased into the Cabrini Green row houses by Burke, whom she viciously stabs to death. Anthony appears and collapses into her arms as the police, lured to the scene by Burke, show up and shoot Anthony to death. Brianna is handcuffed and placed in the back of a police SUV, where an officer attempts to intimidate her into agreeing that Anthony provoked the other officer into shooting him. Brianna uses the car's rear-view mirror to summon Anthony, now Candyman, and he massacres every police officer at the scene. As more police arrive, Candyman takes on the appearance of Daniel Robitaille and gives Brianna a single instruction:
tell everyone.
Well, we hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this. Until then, goodbye and take care.